Upasthit. All right. So, thank you everyone and warm welcome to this beautiful community meetup. So, for last couple of months, I have been asking all the community members that please ask us questions and let's take answers. So, two things came up in last few days, and one was actually ignited by the post I shared about some things that helped me thrive and become abundant in
Yeah,
business. And one of the
that
things,
was nice.
sorry, what did you say?
Wonderful post that
But
was.
thank you so much. Thank you. But many people said that spending freely on myself is something that they struggle with. And I think when I shared that, okay, is this a topic, a good topic we can talk about? Because abundance begets abundance. It's a law of nature. We cannot create abundance ever, and I'm not saying it, I'm not any expert or guru, but this is nature. In nature there is abundance, and abundance keep creating itself. But when there is lack inside of us, no matter what we do, oh, it's Kamal. Hi, hello Kamal, we were wondering who is KP Singh. Warm welcome. We will ask the newcomers to introduce themselves before we finish the meeting. But we have just started. We're going to talk about abundance and the connection of abundance with spending. Because spending, when I say spending freely on myself, trust me, it wasn't easy for me as well. I'm a bania. Okay, my husband is a Sikh, so a lot of you know I'm a Sikh, but I'm called myself half Sardarni because I became Sardarni after marriage. So I am a typical bania, came from a bania family. And if any of you know, I'm not saying banias are conjuice, but there is something is like, just like, Marwadis are very good in saving, investing. Bunnies are very good at saving. Aditi is smiling. Aditi know what I'm talking about. So like it just programmed in our being that every paisa and every rupee you have to save, and you have to always think before you spend. I came from that background. So there were many areas where I was so hesitant on spending. A lot, of course, my coaching journey helped. A lot, my husband also helped. In the areas where I wasn't good at, it was very interesting. He was good there. So I today want to give you an experience. How, rather than talking about it, let's do a interesting exercise. Okay, everybody's ready? Yeah. Yes, give me a sign. You are ready. Okay, so I'm going to ask you in a minute to close your eyes and feel something. For a minute, first, you think about certain areas of your life जहाँ पे you find it very difficult to spend. Abhi, you can keep your eyes open if you want. I'm just going to give you a scenario. Something very difficult you feel for you is spending. And we can even talk about it. I will tell you when to close your eyes and feel it. If you want to talk about it, you can even share something which you feel, oh God, when it comes to spending on this, I am like, oh, I can't spend. And I can go first. So, whenever it would be about fine dining, for example, if I go to a fine dining restaurant, I would be the one looking at menu and also going, what is the cost? And no matter how much I try to train my mind, because it's interesting, these things are very somatic. What's happening in our body is driving what we are doing. Our subconscious is driving us, not our conscious mind. But the eyes will go there to the coast as well. And the moment I will say, oh my God, and I've lived in UK, so sometimes one dish could be 20 pounds, which is like, and immediately your Indian mind goes, oh, 2000 rupees. This just one fish is, no, I don't want it. So this is how I used to be. And I can give a couple more examples. Like, for example, if business class ticket, air ticket, immediately, oh, that does not make sense. Why would I spend 5, 10 times more than economy? It's only a ticket. And these were the areas for me, couple of. But I want you to take a minute and think which are the areas where you feel that spending is very difficult for me. Like it just tightens something in me. Take a minute and talk. You please feel free to just unmute yourself and talk about it as well.
Saloni,
Yeah.
Kaushi here.
Yes, yes,
It
fine.
is just amazing what came to me when I closed my eyes. The word that popped up was health. And
Mm,
I didn't, I can tell you that I never thought about, I thought for me it is more like buying those luxury handbags is where I was constricted.
mm,
But I just let my subconscious show up and my response was health.
okay.
And I realized how very lately committed to a fitness regime with a personal instructor. And I'm noticing this, right? And there's a considerable amount that goes from my income. Instead of seeing that as investment, I'm seeing this as like, oh, it's just going. And
Ah,
I wanted to be very honest about sharing this and acknowledging this so that I'm making peace with it for others as well.
beautiful, beautiful. I love that. I love that. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. And now I can immediately see how many women do that. So I remember one of my friend was I always had I can't exercise on my own. I know this about myself. I'm learning to build my home practice with my yoga teacher, but I always had a strength trainer, a yoga trainer, because for years I realized I can't. And for me, it was easy. It was easy. Like, oh my God, somebody's helping me, coming home and helping me to get fit. Why wouldn't I like to invest? I always saw it as an investment. But a friend who is struggling with health, and I suggested my trainer, and she was like, no, 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 I can always do it on my own. There are so many YouTube videos, and I know it's been months she hasn't done yet. So, thank you for talking about that, Koshi, because it is so much related with where we constrict ourselves and contract. Anybody else want to share? And
I'll
we all have it. Sorry, who was that?
yeah, I'll go.
Yeah,
All right. So, see, I spend on travels and I spend a lot on travel, but when it is backpacking or semi-luxurious, but when it comes to luxury travel, I just can't. So today only my husband is pestering me that we should go to London. He's going to London and for work, and he wants me to accompany him to Scotland after that. And I'm like, no, 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 I can't do it. That's not going to happen. I've just quit my job. I need to focus on my startup. I need to focus on my studies and everything. So this part becomes very difficult for me. It's spending that 1 or 2 lakhs additional in which both of us can actually enjoy, would actually enjoy, but I just can't make myself do it.
let's hope by the end of this session your mind is changed and you have no idea how beautiful Scotland is.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that, Neha. Priyanka, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I realized that with respect to every item, whether it's clothing or fine dining or hotel, I like have a threshold, like okay, if it comes to clothes and all, maybe 3,000 is my threshold, that if it's more than 3,000, then I feel a little heavy. If it's fine dining, if one dish is more than, let's say, 800, then I feel it's too much. Like it doesn't make sense. If I'm going to, a hotel, if one room is like more than 15,000, then I feel most like what? We just have to stay for one night. I like these are my thresholds. And I know that these thresholds have increased, over the past few years. Earlier it was even less. But now these are my thresholds, and if it is something beyond that, then I feel like that's not okay.
Thank you for sharing, Priyanka. And it's so I mean so relatable, I think, for all of us. Aditi.
Yeah, so I actually related a lot to your business class wala part where like for me also it's that yeah, I can get an economy ticket. Why do I want a business class ticket? But one more thing that has happened to me is this is majorly because of my husband that he will encourage me, let's do this. And then post that, I'm very happy with the experience.
Hmm.
Once I do it, initially I'm hesitant and it takes a little bit of convincing. But once I have spent that money, then I really enjoy that experience. I just wanted to add that.
Wonderful. That's a good observation. Thank you, Aditi. All right. So everybody has got some. I just saw Mona's just joined. Everybody is able to kind of relate with it. Yeah. So let's do the exercise and then you will understand why it's important. Okay. So now, if you haven't got, please take a minute and think of something which is really big, like it's a huge stretch. So for me, I have come from economy to premium economy. I'm very comfortable now. I'm buying premium economy. I'm just traveling very next week as well. But business is still a stretch for me. So think of something which is very big stretch and just close your eyes. Take a minute to just sense your body, your breath. If you need to put your hand on your heart, on your belly, just breathe, take a sigh, and release. And then you think of this huge amount you want to spend. And think of as big as you can think. It could be a mentorship worth 7 lakh. It could be a business class travel worth 9 lakh. It could be anything. It could be fine dining for 1 lakh. It could be anything, but huge. And you literally see yourself paying for it now. And I want you to notice what is happening in your body and be honest. Take a minute, I'll be quiet. Go into that experience and feel your body. Allow yourself to be uncomfortable. Keep your eyes closed. Make it real, real, very real for you. Allow yourself to get uncomfortable. If you're a little uncomfortable, go to the next level then. Till you reach a place where you are really uncomfortable to spend this money. When you reach there, drop into your body and feel where in your body you feel this discomfort. Where is in your body the discomfort? Put your hand at that place and fully feel it. It could be in your heart center, could be in your solar plexus around the navel, or in your belly. It could be in the form of a tightness, heaviness, like a rope or a rock, a knot. Really enter this experience fully, 100%, and feel the quality of this sensation in your body. And as you're there, now start to breathe into that space. I want you to take a moment and breathe as if you're directly breathing in that space where you're feeling it. Just start to take deep breaths as if your whole body is expanding and the breath is going directly in that place where the sensation is. So you're literally offering your breath to the space within you where the constriction is. Allow your breath to go there. Inhale and slowly exhale. And you can exaggerate by moving your body in and out. So, literally, with the breath, you're going in, and as you exhale, you are expanding, coming out. Feel the breath going in the space where you're feeling it. Take a couple of minutes, be there, and then slowly, steadily, gently, you can come back to the room. How was the experience? Is anybody would like to share with me? Yeah, you can go. Do you want to go, Gurminder?
Yeah, it was beautiful. And
Share.
there was something where I could not, I mean, I was into the activity, something you made us raise the level, raise the level. There came a level where I was totally uncomfortable. And when this discomfort dropped inside the body, it just dropped inside the heart. There was kind of tightening or pins like hitting. So it felt like that.
Mhm.
But after deep breathing and all, it's now released.
Beautiful. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. Thank you, Gurminder. Yes, thank you so much. Priyanka?
Um, for me, I think I feel the heaviness like in my chest area. And when I was visualizing myself, so I took a very simple example, which is happening right now. It's my birthday on Sunday. And we just thought that, okay, for one day, me and my husband, we'll book a room and we'll just make time for ourselves because otherwise we're taking care of kids and family, etc. And to make it special, we thought, okay, we'll go to one of the Taj properties and all. And when we started looking at it, there are multiple Taj properties in Bombay. I said, please look at the cheapest one. I'm okay as long as it's just the basic room. The most important is that we get time. I really don't care how luxurious it is or something. I really don't care for it as long as we have peace and quiet. And so we looked at, whichever one was cheapest. And in that also, there were multiple rooms. And I said, maybe look at the cheapest. He said, no, we'll go for this one. And my husband was like, oh, this one is really nice. So the funny part is that all their rooms start with luxury. Luxury deluxe, luxury twin, luxury सब कुछ ही luxury है तो हमको basic भी चलेगा. He said, नहीं नहीं इसमें ना butler है और access to Taj, some signature floor. I was like, मुझे क्या करना है मुझे वो signature floor से कोई मतलब नहीं है ये वो. So I just took that example that why I couldn't. And उन दोनों रूम्स में आई थिंक 6,000 का फर्क, which is not a big amount, but I was like it doesn't make sense because that's not important. But the bottom line is that there was a resistance कि नहीं मुझे नहीं करना है.
Did you feel that in your body now?
Yes, I felt it at that time also, but I didn't make time to tap into it. And so when I tapped into it, I just saw myself as a small person. I think for a very long period of my life, I have felt small because, there was too much of criticism and too much of just the circumstances and my parents and all of that just making me feel that I'm not good enough and I'm not good enough. And so I felt small for a very long period of my life. And although my life has changed and everything has changed, and I have also sort of moved far away from it, but I think on the inside, there is still a part of me that feels that. And the voice was just saying, what makes you deserve it? Why do you think you deserve it? And okay, you're going to stay at Taj, like that's also like good enough, big deal. Why do you want this ultra luxury something? Like you don't like what makes you worth it? And so the other voice is saying that it's not about deserving, it's not about worth, but I'm not fully convinced. I still question that what makes you deserve it.
Mm. So one thing I would say for the purpose, so there is a story the mind creates. But today, what I want
Yeah.
everybody to experience, and I will take you to another experience now, and I see some hands raised. We'll come to that later because I want you to stay out of story. So there's a
Yeah.
way to deal with mind, Priyanka, but if you can work on the body, you will be amazed what can happen. No story needs,
Okay.
there is no need to even convince yourself that you are not small. That's a power your body holds. And I'll show you that power now, okay? So everybody think of right now whatever is your coaching package. Okay? whatever it is. So whether you are charging right now 20K for your first package, 50K, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, whatever you're charging, and we are going to straight away first double it. Okay, you know what's coming, and then we're gonna make it 5 times. Okay, and let's see. So everybody go back, just close your eyes, put everything down. If you have anything in your hands, just close your eyes and relax, and just any thought comes up, just let them be. Just let them be. Just like, traffic is there, waves are there, you are the calm ocean. Drop into your presence right now. And I want you to think of that number which you are right now comfortable. Whether you have one client, pro bono, 5 clients, does not matter. A number which you feel comfortable telling someone on their face that I charge this much for this amount of coaching. And I want you to immediately double that number. Imagine you're sitting in this discovery call, there's a person there, and they say, I want to start coaching with you. What is your fees? And you say exactly double the amount that you thought is comfortable right now. And I want you to say that in your head right now, that amount, and then feel by dropping in your body, where in your body you feel the sensation, whatever sensation it is. If it's a little stretch, a little discomfort, a little apprehension, a little bit of hesitation, no matter what it is, I want you to really sense it. Be fully present with the sensations in your body as you raise your face. And now I want you to go to the next discovery call. And this time, again, I want you to double the price. So it's going to be 4 times the fees right now you are proposing to anyone. And you are straight away going to say, eye to eye, look into the face of your client, imaginary client, and you say to them, this is my fee structure, and this is what I charge for this much fees, no matter how many zeros are there. I want you to just imagine in your head, you're saying that number, this is the number I charge, with a smile, and then feel in your body. Allow the discomfort to fully come. Do not resist it. Make it very real, very, very real for you. And now feel whatever is there in your body. Go to a level of discomfort where the number really makes you uneasy. Reach that level. If you need to go higher, 5 times your fees, 10 times your fees, go to that level where you are uneasy, where you feel, do I even deserve it? No matter what stories come up, you just say that number in your head, and no stories, just drop in your body. Where in your body you feel the sensation? Is there a tightness in your heart center or not in your belly, wherever it is? Feel the shape, the size of the sensation. If there is any color, energy, circles, movement, feel it in your body. Welcome the sensation. Welcome it as a guest. Breathe into it slowly and gently. Breathe into the sensation. Deep breaths, slowly and gently. Deep breaths. as if you're directly offering your breath to the sensation, wherever it's in the body. No thoughts, no story, no mind. There is no mind right now, only body and breath. Allow your breath to nourish the sensations in your body. Let them freely move in and gently dissolve in your beautiful whole presence. Couple more deep breaths. Sense your body. Feel a deep inhale and expansion of your body. And as you exhale, releasing whatever is not serving you. Gentle, deep breaths. And slowly and steadily allowing all of it dissolving in your wholeness. You can come back to the room. So before I ask people, because I see the time and I know Kapil is here. Are you here, Kapil? Kapil is here. Yes. Kapil has another question, which is very different from this, but it is actually linked. I'm going to link both the things. Before that question, I want to ask you why we went to spending first and then to charge. Who will enlighten us? Please go. Just raise your hand, unmute, and go. Yes, Kamal, please go. And then Ruchira. First Kamal, then Ruchira.
So it's first knowing about our needs,
Mm-hmm.
how much I need, then only I ask the universe or I ask for it.
Okay. Okay. So what do you mean when you say how much I need?
Um, so when I'm spending something and I'm constricted, that means there is a need, but I cannot really fulfill that need.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and actually, there was a slightly different. May I just speak for 2 minutes? 1 minute?
Yeah. Go.
Yeah. So in the previous exercise, so I don't travel by plane. I travel by train, and I most of my commutation is by public transport. So that's a choice. Right?
Yeah, that's a choice.
So for me, whenever I look at my resources in terms of how can I use my resources so that it is really nourishing the environment as well.
Hmm.
So my scarcity or abundance comes in the form of my resource, which is can I take a decision in this moment so that I can buy it with the minimal resources. Yeah. And my scarcities are there's we don't have enough time. Right? We don't have enough resources. The earth is burning. So that is my scarcity. And opposite of this is my abundance, like taking a support from others. That is my abundance. Sometime I'm constricted of asking that support, asking for those resources. So when I'm not constricted, that would be my abundance. I live in that abundance.
I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying, Kamal. And it's so beautiful that you added that you feel constriction when certain things that you are not able to ask. For example, if you need support and you're not asking, you feel constricted. The point of this exercise, one thing I would want to add actually to go, I would love to elaborate on this because it's such a beautiful point. What you said, two things you said that I spend as per my needs. So I want everybody to know here, coaching is not a need. Coaching is not a need. Let's make it very clear, guys. Everybody on this planet can survive without coaching. I was working as a doctor in London and I was earning in millions, and my life was pretty good. I had very good relationship. Not as good as it was for people outside, of course, and not as fulfilled as it would look to people outside. I did not need coaching ever. So coaching, if this is so important to understand the difference between need and desire, and maybe it would be good. I can ask somebody to be a note keeper. Aditi is really good. So Aditi, I am right now looking at you. Take a note on this, but I would love to do a session about need and desire. Maybe we can talk about in the session because it's such an important point you have raised, Kamal. If we want to be coaches, it's very important for us to understand our conscious choices. I love to make conscious choices. For example, I don't like to do fast food or even clothings. I'm moving more and more toward conscious choices. That also means that sometimes I spend more in terms of money when I want to stay in a place which is eco-friendly or which is running sustainable services, because I know right now so places who are doing this, they actually have to spend a lot of money in order to create sustainability. And I'm in touch with a lot of people like who are working in sustainability. I know it is actually so much more money required right now because the system doesn't support it. That is another concept. But what I'm saying is, it's not about you always spend as per a conscious choice. So when you make a conscious choice because I want to support the abundance of nature, and that's why I'm not taking my car and then I'm taking my metro, versus because I don't need to go by car because I don't want to spend on car, I would prefer to go on metro. That's different. So let's make it a very clear distinction here. So it's not about the need, because if you think I will only spend on need, then in reality we don't need anything. अगर खाना मिल रहा है and there is a roof, my need is required, right? Done. Survival needs are very little, very little. And we are not talking about survival right now. Coaching is about, if we go to the Maslow's hierarchy, we all know the Maslow's hierarchy. This is an era of higher evolution of consciousness. So when my tummy is full, when there is a roof on my head, I can talk about, yes, I want to self-realize myself because my basic needs are met.
Met.
ये need नहीं है, ये desire है. I can fully live many lifetimes and eat very nicely and do everything, educate my children, do everything without ever thinking of awakening, realization, awareness, self discovery, purpose. ये क्या होता है, इसकी कोई ज़रूरत ही नहीं है ना. And reality ये है, 80% of the world, maybe 80, I'm saying low number, is living at that level, and I'm sure all of us know. अभी हम कोचिंग वर्ल्ड में हैं तो वी यूज दिस वर्ड्स लाइक वेरी फ्रीली. सेल्फ डिस्कवरी, सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. इफ आई एम सिटिंग विद माय कजन्स, दे विल लुक एट मी, क्या हो
हाँ.
गया है सलोनी, क्या बात कर रहे हो मेरा कल एक फ्लैट बिका था और कल मैं एक और खरीद रहा हूँ प्रॉपर्टी, इसके अलावा दे डोंट नो. सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज, coaching is a desire, and when we understand fully and when we fulfill our desires, that's so important for a coach to know. I talk about my highest desire is self realization. My highest desire is self actualization. Yeah, I would love to go in a business class, but that's such a small desire. वो तो कल फुलफिल हो जाएगी ना, उसमें क्या ही बड़ा हो जाएगा. What is a big deal about it? But reality ये है कि highest desire तो so much difficult to do. And I know many lifetimes will be there spent to realize that highest desire. But desire is important. Desire is very important, because if I do not know my desire and I do not fulfill my desires, how will I be a magnet for people who want to live beyond survival? Then the people who come to me who says, Saloni, I am at the top of my corporate ladder, मैं बड़ी एमएनसी को हेड कर चुका हूँ, बट अभी तो मेरे हेड में ये है कि मैं रिटायर हो रहा हूँ और मतलब मेरी लाइफ का पर्पस क्या है एंड ये सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन क्या होती है, पर मैं आई वांट टू नो अबाउट इट, आई रेड ऑटोबायोग्राफी ऑफ योगी पर कुछ समझ में तो आया नहीं मुझे, and I want coaching for that. When a person comes like that, now why? Because I am also actually led by my desires. That's why the people like this are coming to me, who are literally using the language which I understand. But if I say कि नहीं मेरी इतनी सी नीड है और मुझे वही पूरी करनी है, that I call it scarcity mindset. Because for me, self realization is not a need, it's a desire. And again, it's my personal view. So don't think this is like I'm an expert. I only share with my experience what my experience has been. So I
Yeah.
thought it was important, but because you raised such an important point here, coaching is not a need. We all need to know that. It's a desire, and if we are fulfilling our desire, I feel the world as a reflection of my consciousness. And now I would love to actually connect the spending and charging. The day, and this story मैंने बहुत बार बताई है, and I'll keep telling in every session. The day I paid a hefty amount to my coach Gary, that was the day I doubled my fees. I have no idea what happened. I was like, how will that happen? But I just said to the client, this is my fees. And they said, yes, send me the bank account. I'm like, what is even happening? In my mind, I'm like, they're not going to negotiate. I've literally doubled my fees. And later, only in the hindsight, I'm thinking, oh my God, I have paid such a big amount, which was many, 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 many times than my current income, which expanded my capacity to spend, which was an investment, of course, which I got before the coaching was finished. Everything was returned back to me, multiple. And my capacity to charge became high. Why? Imagine now. So again, I was sharing with one of the coach here that first time when we bought like a premium economy flight to America, it was hard. But I know the moment I did it, my capacity to create a much bigger program, charge much big, also expanded. These are parallel. Please understand, spending freely, investing freely in you is absolutely, absolutely proportionate to how much can you charge. So if you feel I'm going to save, I'm not going to spend on myself, I'm going to look at prices, I can't do this, I can't have a fitness instructor, or I can't go to spa, trust me, the time will come when you will have to ask a client, okay, I want to charge this, your tummy will be tight. I'm sorry, this will happen. And now you share, what do you think? So this is a very important point here. My capacity to spend, invest and charge is everything is same, because बॉडी को नहीं पता है कि आप दे रहे हो या ले रहे हो, अमाउंट इज बिग. मैं 5 लाख दे रही हूँ किसी को या मैं 5 लाख मांग रही हूँ, बॉडी इज टाइट. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस डिफरेंस. तो अब मैंने बहुत बोल लिया, अब रुचिरा बोलेगी. यस रुचि, आई कैन सी यू वांटेड टू शेयर सम.
I think I completely agree, Saloni. So beautifully you shared. And I think the sensation was both similar on both sides. But what I also experienced was a huge expansiveness in the second experience. And I think that's always been my experience that when I charge a big amount, I feel like I expand and I fill up that space. And I think that is always, I feel like we always have the potential to expand and fill that space. We just don't allow ourselves that opportunity. So, and what you said so beautifully, it's so true because it's really about expanding our vessel constantly. And this is a part of that. This abundance, financial abundance is a part of that. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruchi, for saying that. It's so beautiful. Yeah, that's true. The more you keep expanding, and we talk about spaciousness, it's literally a space in your body. The spaciousness we talk about is not just like uh, a word. It is an expansion of your energy. You will really start to feel it. So this is a simple exercise. Before anybody else share, I would ask you to notice.
I wanted to share, Saloni. So I think the correlation for me was becoming very apparent. I would notice this. How joyfully am I willing to spend? Like, I'll give you a very recent example. This is a vest I got yesterday. I know I need it and I love it, but a part of me is like, are you being reckless? And I notice if that's the energy I carry, I'm also going to attract clients who would say, maybe this is not important, I can park it. Maybe I need it, but can I find an alternative? So it started to get very apparent, like you said, like how
Yeah.
you spend on yourself is going to get mirrored by the people you attract. And you said a very powerful thing that allow the body to feel. We spend so much of our time in our head, and I have noticed this for myself, that when you start speaking itself, the mind is now taking over charge of that story. So the first time that experience where you shared, I was like, I was in tears because I was filled with gratitude, like I could really have it. My body was open to receiving it, but the mind was throwing in like, and like you need to come with a certain financial background to afford that kind of lifestyle. And in that story, in the next example, you had a way of saying how, when you're looking at eco-friendly environments for stay, because the ecosystem does not support, it's expensive. My mind had a shift, like, see, it's not coming from a place of lack, it's coming from a place of desire. And I think something that I've been learning and understanding is whenever there is a desire or a want, is that coming from a place of lack or just want, is a very important exercise to do. And I've been working with it. And I wanted to highlight this part where you put a post about dancing and to create that moments of joy. So I've been learning that let your highest goal in this lifetime be achieving joy for yourself. So the highest, if you've set that standard for yourself, you are on that path. So I just felt encouraged to share that writing was so in tune with what I've been learning and discovering, and I wanted to share it with the community here. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Kashi, so much. So, Priyanka, you're going for the presidential suite at Taj. The luxury one. And Neha, you're going to Scotland now. Because no, when you do that, and other day I was I have a coachee who is a coach as well, and I was talking about spending and all these things, and he's like, but this is like chicken and egg. I always feel first I have to earn and then I can spend. I'm like, this is no chicken and egg. It is very simple because till the time you freely spend, and also no, there's a lot of ego in it because I always feel my money, my money. What are we holding on to you? Oh, it's not our money anyway. It's energy. It's just free flowing. इधर से आ रही है कहीं जा रही है इसको आने जाने दो. Let it flow. I literally feel like that. Let it flow. आप जिस ऐसे कहते हैं ना जैसे पुराने ज़माने में कहते थे कि एक हाथ से आप दोगे इधर से आएगा. It is really true. Please trust it. And till the time you experience it, my experience, of course, doesn't matter. So I would ask you all to experiment with it. Start giving freely, whether it's charity, whether it's spending on yourself, apne se shuru karo, whether it's a massage or spa. Feel the joy, as Kashi said. Joy. I mean, when I love spas, and you can't believe for 1 hour massage, the every cell of my body is just saying one thing. Thank you, because I am in awe of a human being who is serving with his hands. My body is aching and somebody is serving. I always feel this is the highest kind of service. Like one thing that I feel about coaching is really somebody is in physical pain and somebody is really taking away the pain, whether it's massage or Reiki or whichever kind of healing modality it is. But feel the joy. I'm mean, so much joy that oh my God, it's God's grace that we are literally supporting each other. What an ecosystem we have. Feel that abundance. Because in that moment, if you're eating or if you're going, traveling somewhere beautiful, feel that abundance, enjoy that. And then that abundance will be multiplied. So I can like literally guarantee when you start doing it, don't worry. Reality पता है क्या है? हम सबके पास we are not from a place की literally we don't have food. This is a reality. अगर अभी कोई any emergency happens in our family, we know we can manage it. We all have at least some saving, something is there. We are not literally going hungry. We none of us is like in this situation. तो ये हमारे mind की stories हैं, programming है, or या फिर as Neha said, her husband I'm sure is fully supporting the trip, but still she's saying no, and I've done that. I feel you, Neha. I've done that when I would tell my husband, नहीं नहीं नहीं, fine dining क्या करना है, यहाँ चलते हैं, वहाँ चलते हैं. And now it's like he says, let's go there. I'm like, yes, let's go. Let's buy this. Yes, let's go. So it took me time, trust, experiment, and do it. Yeah. Anybody else wants to share anything? Otherwise, we'll go to the
So,
next.
Saloni, I want to add along with desire, during the activity, I felt like liberated.
Hmm.
And it was like a huge shift in the way you approach the things and you feel. And this has been a journey for me in the last 3 years, ever since I started on this path. As you all are sharing, के we keep thinking, mind process करता है, right side देखता है कि what is the price and everything, and you just restrain yourself. Nowadays, first I'm working on myself. There also I'm feeling lot of liberated from within. And that liberated self transfers to the client in a very, very beautiful way that I have realized of late.
Absolutely. Because imagine the energy of liberation, a liberated self.
Yeah,
Imagine the energy you feel when you're in joy, when you're in liberation, your consciousness is rising.
yeah,
Naturally, people are pulled, people are drawn towards you. People will not be drawn towards an energy which is constricted, always thinking, can I do this, can I not do this, writing a post and wondering, or looking at everybody else and feeling I'm not enough. All this energy is constricted energy. So, as
yeah.
much as we need a liberated, expanded, free flowing energy. And right now we're talking about in terms of money. It can come from it as well. Is there anything, Chavi, I think you had your hand up. You wanted to share
Yeah,
something?
I just wanted to share with my experience with both the activities. So I think for me, both of them, I felt it more in my throat and the jaws, as if it's more to do with communication rather than actually spending the amount. As in, like an example, we are planning a trip to India, and I know when the time comes to booking tickets, it's going to be Air India versus Singapore Airlines, and Singapore Airlines obviously is double or triple the price of what Air India would charge. And every time we end up with this discussion कि दोनों ही फ्लाइट्स पहुंचा रही है ना, तो इस पे क्यों खर्चना है when you can do this. And I will, that's where the communication, and I will stop myself. Same experience I had when we were doing the other exercise about charging money. Double was okay, it was just a fluttering in the heart, like nervous energy. But when you said 4 times or 5 times, it really felt as if the throat is like voice in the it's gone, almost suffocating to the sense. So I think it's a lot for me. This brought up that it's more to do with communication about money than money in itself or spending in itself. So I think I need to work on that bit more.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Chavi. Start noticing the talk you have with your partners, whether it's with your partners, with your children, with yourself inside your head. Please notice this self-talk. Sometimes it naturally changes. Like in case of me and my husband, it naturally came to whenever he says ki rehne de kya, should we just go for a lower thing, whatever we are buying. And I'm like, nahi, nahi, we have enough. महंगा वाला लो, ऊपर वाला लो. And when I do this, he's like, nahi, nahi, don't do this. You go for the higher one. We have enough. So I don't know how it happened. It's so strange how it happened. I was just buying Bali ticket. I'm going for a retreat in Bali. And I'm like, Bali तो बहुत पास है. I'll just buy economy. He's like, no, इतना पास भी नहीं है. He's like, इतना पास नहीं है. It's a 8-hour flight. You're gonna buy premium. I'm like, really? Oh, like, yeah, do it. I'm like, okay, fine. So it just naturally happened over the years that where we naturally changed it. What I'm saying is consciously changed it. If you consciously change it, that I have enough. I remember one thing I learned from my mentor Louise Hay, and Louise always used to say that all my needs and desires are always met. All my needs and desires are always met. And it was like long time back when I heard this from Louise, and just naturally kind of embodied that. And whenever I have any need or any desire, this is what I repeat, and I know universe is gonna fulfill that. It just will happen. And you have to start noticing when it happened. Like this retreat in Bali, I always wanted to do a retreat in somatic retreat, and it just came up. And I'm like, my only job is to say yes. I know it was my desire, universe ने अब डाल दी है. Can you imagine how it happened? So I had booked this retreat with my mentor when the Pakistan India का वो चल रहा था ना, सारा बॉम्ब वाला, उस टाइम पे everything was closed. The retreat was in Rishikesh. That got cancelled. And the mentor said that we will do the dates again, then you all can come to the next retreat. And when she announced the next retreat, she also announced the Bali retreat. And I'm like, that's interesting. I said, I always wanted to go Bali for a somatic retreat. Can I join that one? And she's like, of course. You already, paid the money. It doesn't matter. You come to any retreat, Saloni. I'm like, wow. We all were sad. Like, okay, our retreat got cancelled and all. But what I'm saying is, I just saw it as a universal signal. You put the desire out there. And the reason I wanted to go to Bali retreat because I have my desire to do my retreats in Bali. And I'm like, first I want to experience a retreat there. And then maybe next year I'll just go and facilitate my retreat. And the universe put it, and I just have to say yes. So notice that. Change your talk, whether it's inside or with somebody else. Yeah, consciously change that. And if you're finding yours difficult, go in your body, release whatever is stopping, and then change it. So I really want to take, if anybody else is there, we'll take at the end. So Kapil, if you can come in, share the question, because many people don't know the question you had. So in brief, if you tell the question, then we'll talk about. You are on mute, Kapil, I think. Just unmute yourself.
Sure. Thank you. So basically, I don't have it handy, but I'll say that thank you, Shaloni, for this wonderful. I was enjoying this talk. It was so heartwarming and loving. So thank you for this space. My question is, I'll come directly and give the context later. Whether do we coach people when we engage with them, when they become formally a client, we coach people on the problems they bring in or coaching them on the possibilities. And what do I mean by that is when you sign up formal agreement and engagement, right? They may be having their problems in their hand, which they came for, or they may not have. So what do I mean by that? They may not have is that over the period of time, let's say I had 2 conversations with them, the problem got resolved. Or let's say the problem did not get resolved and we signed up. So this happened with one of 2 or 3 of my clients. She signed up 3 months of engagement last year, and this year again 3 months of engagement. And I knew the context from where it is coming from. It was on the relationship, and I did not know. I asked her, what do you wanted to sign up for? Is it 3 months or 6 months? I gave the choice to her. And she said, let's go with 3 months again. I said, fine. And I did not know the kind of intensity she was showing. I said, 3 महीने तो नहीं होने वाला, 6 महीने लग जाएंगे इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने में. And God willingly, in 3 conversations, problem got resolved completely, it seemed. She said, I got what I wanted. I don't know what to talk for the next conversation, Kapil. And she said, okay, let's pause for 1 month and see if there's something coming up. Because kabhi baar kya hota hai, you have momentarily experiences and you feel the problem got resolved, but again, it comes up as a trigger point. So I'm waiting. So this is what has happened. And then I end up talking with her on new possibility, what she wanted to talk, right? And we agreed and ended for that engagement to finish. And I said, time, within that time, we need to finish it. This is one example. And similarly, I had one more example last year when 3 months of coaching engagement was there. And then he signed up for 9 months as a choice. I gave him 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. He said 9 months engagement. And after, I think, 8 conversations, we signed up for 18 conversations. And after 8 conversations, he said, I'm done. I don't know what to talk about. And then it became almost like dragging. I said, no more dragging. Let's hold on. Let's pause. And we ended up after eventually some conversations. He said, let's end this chapter based on the agreement. So this is what has happened with me. I don't know why it's happening, but yeah, so this is what is the context.
That's very interesting. I would first share my point of view, and then I would invite everybody who want to share any point of views that would be welcome. Really, let's have a discussion. So this is how I see Kapil. Coaching is not for solving problems. This is how I see coaching, because that is a very short, I would say, use of coaching. Really, very very limiting use of coaching, because the way I see coaching is more about really helping somebody, not just possibilities, rather really helping somebody to see who they are, how they are being in their life, in every area of their life. So that's why even when I'm working with coaches, they might come just to set up their business, but actually their relationships get better, their parenting gets better, their relationship with themselves. So because at the core of the issue, no matter what problem somebody comes with, this is what I have recognized. It's core is always about self-worth, self-esteem. As you know, Priyanka said, she feels small. There is an issue of how much she loves herself, how much she really respect herself. So the core is always going to be, as a coach, it's important for us to know there is always something at the core. And the most common thing that is at the core usually is, with people, I'm not enough. Somebody might come and be a victim that the partner is doing this, but actually they don't feel enough or worthy to be deserving their love as well. So they are creating constant, fights as well. So it's so important to know, as a coach, at least this is how I work. I even tell the person in the first meeting that I work with the core challenges. And I explain to them that, and in a very coaching conversation way, that what do you think is your relationship with yourself? For example, I ask them. And with any coaching agreement, I send an awareness form. I'm happy to share in the community. If anybody wants to use, just use it. Change my name on the top. Use it. Put your name. It's a simple awareness form that I created, simply just like a wheel of life. So I feel wheel may people get confused. So I created a simple table where I give 10 key areas of your life, and I ask them to rate every single area how satisfied they are. They might feel they don't want to have a social life, but they are you satisfied with the social life you have? It's just amazing how many times people come back with a huge awareness that, oh my god, the fun in my life is literally 2 out of 10. I literally have no social life. Or I had forgotten that my relationship with my sibling or my parents is so bad. And I tell them, if you feel there is any other important area, you can add that to the table as well. I have given 10, which I feel are there. And it's so interesting that the conversation starts there, because in the first session, I take out their awareness form. I check their coaching form where there are questions. What do you want to achieve through coaching? A simple questionnaire is there. And then I check their awareness form always. And I usually ask them to talk about an area which is the lowest. You know why? Because I know there's a deep issue there. As a coach, it gives me so much insight. If somebody says that their relationship with money is very bad, I know how it's playing out in every area. How maybe they want to do better presence in leadership, but they feel so like, okay, give you example. So I recently was coaching a CEO, and who came for managing his team and his presence as a leader. He's now merging with the European company. And can you believe what we were actually started working with? He said that when I go on Swiggy Saloni, I'm looking for discounts. Now, can you believe it? And we are laughing. I'm like, what are you saying? He's like, yeah, I'm always checking discount. And if I have to buy something like 500, I will look, can I buy it in 400? And we had a good laugh. But this, can you imagine why this happened? Was because I did the awareness form, and he wrote there that finances are very good, but for my relationship with money is very bad. He said, my laptop is broken. A CEO of a huge company, he said, my laptop is broken for 2 years. I have not bought a new laptop. I'm dragging that because चल तो रहा है ना, काम चल रहा है.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
imagine, will it not impact his leadership? What do you think?
it will.
It will. And it took me time. I helped him understand through some questions, simple questions. How do you feel about it? And he knew it. I don't feel good about it. And he knew very clearly where it was coming from. We all know these things come from childhood, where he was an ignored child, and actually there was abuse and a lot of things, where he never felt worthy of spending even something like as a 500 rupees dish. So, what I say, why I'm sharing these examples, problem is never the problem which people come with. There is so much underlying, and I feel a coach's true potential is to also help the person recognize so much more is going on. And when that happens, something beautiful happened, which I really wanted to share today. I always tell people that in the discovery call, I would suggest what I think is the right duration. So, for example, a couple of my clients I told, like, there's so much going on for you. They're literally coming up with abundance issue, this issue, money issue. Let's work for a whole year. I, of course, most doesn't suggest with more than 4 years because it will be too much for a person. And people have signed up for a whole year. Some minimum, meaning I don't work less than 6 months. You can choose. Earlier, I used to work 3 months as well. You can choose 3 months, but you can suggest that I think 6 months or 9 months is the perfect period. What do you think? If the client is not comfortable at all, only then I offer them a smaller package. Otherwise, I always go for what I feel intuitively or based on their, whatever they have shared in the discovery call. And it took me some time to learn it was a disservice which I was doing when I would not tell them after 6 months that, you know what, there is so much we need to work upon. And if people feel my problem is solved and now there is nothing else to talk about, it means we have not touched on the deeper area. Either that could be an issue, or an interesting thing I'll also tell you, even after sharing this, sometimes clients do come in a session, like many of my clients, especially the busier ones, like who's a leader and just busy, and they've taken this 1 hour from middle of their work for this coaching session and come blank in a session and say, Saloni, I have no idea what to talk about. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect, because actually this has happened really with me. Every time a client has said that, that has turned out to be the best. And after the session, they have said this was the best session ever. Not once, twice, many times it has happened. Why? Because I just take them in a grounding, simple grounding space. I do a little 10 minute, 5 minutes, grounding exercise, and then I ask them in the grounding, just scan your last week or a few weeks and notice what bothered you. Notice where you reacted. Notice something that was constricting you. And instantly they start to feel things. Something happened, somebody said something, or they lashed out, or there was some tension with the partner, or it could be business partner, life partner. And they open their eyes and they're like, I need to share something with you. And the whole session happens on that. And because that was not a problem, but actually that was an underlying, there's an underlying music of our life. So some people have this underlying music where maybe somebody in their life is always draining their energy. In that session, that will come out, which was never an agenda of coaching, which was never there in their mind because they thought कि ऐसे ही चलना है. Yes, my father always bugs me. He does never feel happy with me, but I never thought it could be a problem. And in that, when I take them there and say like, what is this? Say, oh yeah, phone call happened with my father, and again, all of my life I have heard this that you are not making right choices, and now I am 45 and still, and that is such a fertile ground for coaching. Because imagine how much grudges, how much pain is there they're holding against somebody like a primary relationship. And then sometimes that session leads to many sessions because there's a forgiveness that they need to do. There is a lot of release they need to do. So all this is very important. As a coach, if you know, trust me, there is no human being on this planet, Kapil, including you and me, who can't spend years and years and years on coaching. I would not say therapy because again, I feel most of the therapists they're talking about the past, and I'm not sure how good therapists are taking people forward. As usually in coaching, our main focus is on okay, we heal this and we move with a new energy into the future, and that's what we need so we can keep going because challenges will always keep coming. So that's my answer. And this is also a beautiful way to re-sign. Keep, I'm not saying keep signing them for our life, but my longest clients and the best who have literally transformed have stayed with me for 3 years. I think about 6, 7 clients I have coached who have stayed with me for 3 years, and they were the best, if I say, as case studies, because it's not again that problem was not solved. First year, the leadership was solved, and the next year they said, Saloni, now my teenager is driving me crazy. please coach me on this. I am just can't handle this. So we did a lot of work on parenting. Then they said, okay, actually, with my partner, something is happening. And I never told you my relationship with my mother is also this and that. So we questioned that. So what happens is, and then sometimes, of course, money and self-love, so many things come up. But imagine if I would have said to them, yes, 1 year coaching ho gaya, we have solved problem. You are a great, wonderfully doing on your leadership. Bye bye. That would have been a disservice because even my clients felt like, oh my God, the second and third year was completely a different level. Because number one, I was evolving as a coach. Imagine who I was with them first year. I wasn't the same coach next year. I wasn't the same coach third year. I'm constantly evolving. Number two, we were working on mind and emotions. We could go to somatic work. We could do more slowing down in sessions. There were more silence. There were more space. I remember a coach I worked with, and first year she has recently renewed for third time, and this time with the coaching form, I told her that this year is a completely spiritual space. And she's like, what does it mean? I'm like, we have done everything. System, wisdom, sab ho gaya hai. You are doing great. Let's now go in that space where I call truly deep transformational space. And maybe some sessions we just gonna be in silence. And she was like, wow, I never thought that is a possibility because I don't have a good relationship with silence. I'm like, maybe that's why I'm feeling it. Maybe that's why I just sense this is a time. And imagine this was not possible in the first year. Somebody who's coming with so many doubts, so many thoughts. I can't ask them, okay, sit with me in silence. Their mind will go crazy. They need to release first and do a lot of work on their mind, on their emotions, come to confidence, release everything that's bothering them. Then they come to the space. So, yeah. Is it making sense, Kapil? How are you feeling? I would like to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I understand all that. However, I would like to say that when the person is coming, as a coach, I'm aware I'm solving not the problem which they came up with, right? Because I understand the patterns of the people. I have seen and coached people, so I understand, oh, even if he's telling this way, underlying there is something else going on, right? So yes, we work on that, but the person is not aware in that moment, right? When we have just started the journey or we've just started having one or two engagements. So for them, it is a problem. They are super focused. If I'm just stressful, for example, I'm not able to, one of the problem could be like, I'm not able to sleep at night. There could be many dimensions to it, right? Many dimensions to it. Why, when, how, like relationship issue, money issue, what's really bothering, what are the thoughts? So, in moment their sleep issue get resolved, right? And they may say, okay, bye-bye. Or they may continue based on our engagement, as you said. But what I'm getting is this awareness form will definitely help. I used to do this wheel of life stuff. I have done it, but I have not done it in the first conversation itself. Right? I eventually do it like when we move on further to, because right now they are into this zone, and I wanted to help them here, and then eventually, obviously, inside out approach, right? Which not only solves that problem, it also solves, as you said, like maybe it's a self-worth issue which is bothering the person, right? And if we solve self-worth in one area, there is a chance it may get resolved in every other area of the life also, right? So yeah, so this is what I'm getting.
So
Can I add something here? Can I share?
Yeah.
So, like I think Saloni mentioned, and probably Kapil, you're right. Clients come with a problem in their head, but we know it's not a real problem. And as a coach, you have to go and do our stuff and get that real part, that who they are and who they want to be and how to reach there. We get into that path. But what I've also seen is, I'll give you one example also, is after we have solved a problem in their head, they get a solution or options, whatever, they have found a solution. Now there's a different problem. Okay. There will be now a different level of problem or different type of problem which comes up in their head. And as a coach, we need to be able to give that space that we can also help you solve the next problem. And that's where we are setting up your service, whatever coaching services and programs are there. We put it up, okay, for this part, we have another model, where we'll cover these topics, right? I've seen that happen. Like one of the client signed up about 6 months back, and he said कि मेरे को one-to-one coaching चाहिए, and he was referred by another client. We started off, know who he is, he's an entrepreneur, and what he wants to be, the goal, everything we did for 4-5 months. It was 6 months, but after 4 months, he said, Amit, मेरा तो ठीक हो गया, मेरे को टीम के साथ प्रॉब्लम है, अब मैं सॉर्टेड लग रहा हूँ, so can you help the team? I said, okay, let's change. So now I have signed up with the team for 6 months. And I said, you also join with the team because I have some sessions left. And he started coming for the sessions with the team. And after 2 sessions, the CEO said, अमित मेरे को टीम के साथ मजा नहीं आ रहा, मेरे को one-to-one ही करना है. Now, what we have done is, okay, no problem. With the team, we continue, and I have signed up with him, with the CEO, and one-to-one for 1 year. So now there are 2 engagements happening, one-to-one with the CEO and 6 months with the team, right? And now the level is different because for 1 year now he's talking about he's partnering with some other company, then he has issues, what will be done? He wants to open up office in some other countries. So there are different decisions which are to be taken. So what I'm saying is, with time, I mean, you solve a problem, I can guarantee now he'll have another problem. If the sleep problem is solved, now he'll have another problem. So as a coach, we need to be ready for what will come next. And what I typically do is also, when the engagement is getting over, let's say 6 months or 12 months, I work with clients for 4-5 years as well. But जब खत्म होने वाला था ना, उससे 1 महीना पहले, just a month back, before they complete, I just bring up the original problem statement. I said, now tell me what is your current problem, and leave him there, leave the person there, कि अच्छा उसके पास next level की problem आ गई है. And when I'm finishing it off and taking a feedback, then I say, okay, are you interested to continue? Right? Because you may find somebody else to do it, but they should know ये problem solve हुई है, दूसरी level की problem आई है, either they solve themselves or they come to me. And what happens is, like Saloni, it happens with you. Once they have got a trust with you for 6 months, 12 months, 1 or 2 years, then it's very difficult to change a coach. It's very difficult to change a coach, by the way, right? So एक बार ही बिजनेस कोचिंग में एक बार लग गया तो आपको लगता है कि वो यार चल तो रहा है, अब उसको चेंज करेंगे, उसको किसी और को बताएंगे सारा कुछ, अब कौन बताएगा, टीम ये वो बैकग्राउंड कौन बताएगा, इससे चलने दो. So that's what I've seen which happens.
Very powerful as well, Amit. It's not that they only want to change, because they know we understand them so
Yeah.
well. And the rapport and the relationship is so beautiful. And I love what you said, Amit. I also do this. What Amit just made a point is so beautiful. Before my clients usually finish, and unless they are very clear कि ये बच्चा है, if there are certain clients who like by the before the end of coaching, they are not sure like what else is there to work on, I bring out the my first coaching form. I send it back to them. Sometimes I forgot, and I'm like, I'm sending you back the form you sent me. We
Yeah.
both are gonna review, and you are gonna tell me how many things already you feel you have achieved, where have you reached, and also I give them a new questionnaire. What more do you want to achieve going forward? And then I offer to them, okay, this is our next month is our last month of coaching. Now they send me ki, Arey, I want to actually grow in this as well. My role is changed, or kuch aur family mein ho gaya, I want to work. Then I simply ask them, okay, do you want to go for the next round of coaching to now solve these
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
I think what is important, Amit, and what Amit is also sharing, ki my trust in my coaching is so much that I am nowhere problem solving. I am actually helping a person truly become who they are, their highest version. It's not like we are fixing something here. Rather,
Mm.
it's about they have a huge potential. They have their wholeness within them, who they truly are. And it's like shedding off all the layers, and they are becoming more and more connecting with their wisdom. And that is not a process like years of baggage या 30-40 years का जो 6 months and 1 year में हो जाएगा. I know 2-3 years it will need. So first I have to believe that. और
Yeah,
अगर
that happens actually. And also it is when the client, when I'm asking them their problem, next new problem statement, it's quite possible all the problems that they have I cannot solve. Okay, which is okay. In that case, what I do is try to find, अच्छा, for example, one of the clients said, मेरे को ना टीम में ना communication अच्छी नहीं है. They don't talk in good English and they're not able to do that. And I said, okay, उसके लिए तो communication coach trainer चाहिए होगा आपको. and I can refer people. I have my network, and I can refer people, and I've done that with clients. Sometimes with the clients, I've referred my clients to them because they are like work with each other as partners, and they can become each other client बिकॉज उनको क्या बिजनेस चाहिए. अब मैं बिजनेस तो नहीं लेके आ रहा, बट मेरे नेटवर्क में कोई है जो उनकी सर्विस चाहता है. आई कनेक्ट एंड दे आर लाइक नो, दे वेरी हैप्पी कि अच्छा अमित, आपकी वजह से मेरे को एक क्लाइंट मिल गया. नाउ दे विल स्टिक, एंड आई एम नॉट सॉल्विंग, बट आई एम यूजिंग माई नेटवर्क टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम. So intention is to solve. To me, to answer that question, Kapil, intention is to solve, not necessarily through me only, but by giving them maybe options, giving them network, whatever way, and they find the solution. एंड में उनको सोल्यूशन चाहिए, पर सोल्यूशन निकालते ही कोई और प्रॉब्लम आएगा. बट वो हमको ट्रैप रखना है कि कौन सा कहाँ पे होता है, एंड हाउ यू कैन हेल्प देम आउट.
Yeah, that's thank you, Amit, for sharing this. Or sometimes, as you said, Kapil, your client said that I don't have anything else to talk to. So if sometimes people clients say that, I open the form right there in the coaching session. I said, okay, let's open your form and let's go through that. And they realize, oh yeah, but I forgot. I wanted to work on this as well. So that has also happened. Also, please know that intuitively sometimes we know as well. Like some of my clients, I kind of intuitively felt that they were not ready to work upon later. I actually did not even offer them coaching then later. I was like, let me see, I'm having an intuition that kind of they are feeling complete and they might not want to continue it. If they say, then I will consider. This has also happened. Sometimes it can also happen that you offer and they are not ready. This is always, there is a space for that. But when we have the highest intention for a client, when we believe that yes, coaching is going to support them, no matter whether they know problem abhi kya hai, but it is going to support them to become their best, then you will find this problem solved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Ranjit and Kashi, please you come by one, and I saw the time. So 5 minutes may we'll wrap up. Yeah, Ranjit, come in. Okay, okay, Kashi, you come in.
So I think what I wanted to share was again something that I learned is how are you positioning your program? Is it like a painkiller or vitamins? So this goes back to what Saloni said right in the beginning. If there is a need and a desire, what we're doing with the self discovery is a desire. So what how I position my program, it took me a while, right? It took me 3 4 years to get this to the space. Earlier I used to be very like curated individually, but I said I was burning out. Now I work with a process where 1 month is enough for me to indicate how invested they are. And I actually tell them upfront this 1 month is going to be an engagement where we're working on building your profile, because I also position myself as a personal brand coach because they want to position themselves in that area. And I enjoy expertise there. So during that journey of building the profile, there's a lot of story that comes up, right? And they're trying to address it. Now, I don't go beyond 1 month as a litmus test. And then I give them an offer right in the beginning that these are the levels. Then they come back to me saying, Kashi, we really love the engagement. We want to continue with this. That's something that I've been working with. Another thing that has been really helpful as a tool is I noticed when I receive newsletters from people whom I've subscribed, I'm attuned to, oh my God, the value they bring to my life. Now, I don't have that systems where I'm sending out newsletters to everybody, but can I send newsletters that I know is going to serve this particular client? Today, I'm in a space where I can do this because the scale is not large and I will continue to do it. They've spoken about something like, for instance, very recently, the person that I was working with spoke about their challenges with their team members. Now, I know interpersonal skills is an important thing. Can I tune that? The other person who's an educator, they part of the founding members, but they struggle with manifestation. That put me into the space like I'm not a manifestation coach, but I'm working in that space, right? So what I have discovered is it's about opening up possibilities and then choices. And I think, again, it comes back to the space like, am I wanting clients from a place of lack or desire? That's something that I keep going back to. And that's been really helpful. And I wanted to share something that's been serving me well. I felt if I had to hold on to this, I'm not doing justice to the role that I'm here in. So I wanted to share that with you. And another important thing is you might say you want clients, but now you're wondering, how will I manage? Is conflicting views. I realized how, in a certain belief, I wanted to be known for my work, but I didn't want the attention. And I would cringe in my body. And the universe was telling me, wait, you want to be famous and you want to be known for your work, but you don't want attention. And I chose a belief that I am destined for fame and I can handle this with confidence and humility. Trust me, it doesn't come naturally, but I'm consciously saying it aloud here with you guys here. So thank you.
Thank you. And you're breaking that belief with every time you're sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kaushi. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, Ranjit, come in. You want to keep your camera on? We want to see you, Ranjit.
Uh, I'm not in a good shape, so I will not put the cameras on today. so, so excuse me, guys. I will try to step back a little, and I wanted to really understand from Kapil the question that you raised, correct, about whether I should coach the problem or coach the possibilities. Because when I heard, and this will really help me, that's why I'm trying to understand your question. Because I felt like when you were asking that question, I felt like you are in some kind of a dilemma. Uh, that is what I felt like. So I would love to hear from you if it is a dilemma, like what exactly are you experiencing? Because it will really help me as a coach also to understand what really you are experiencing when you're asking that question or when you are going through that dilemma.
So very well said, Ranjit. So I have got um, someone talking about it, and that is where the dilemma came from. And the person said, "Okay, Kapil," and I expressed myself about the same thing, which I have just said to here. Like, they have signed up, and then in between they said, I'm done. I'm done. And then I tried to bridge that gap to make them sure. And they said, okay, let's do that later and all. I said, fine, no problem. Let's do that later. And one person came back. Okay, the space itself has helped them. But the person said to me, Kapil, you are not allowed to coach anyone as a challenge, and I accepted that as a challenge. You are not allowed to coach anyone on the problems, right? But in fact, on the possibility, new possibility. And I understand what they're saying. What is the essence? Like, as Saloni said, right? Who they really are could be one possibility. One of the person came to me suffering from RA, and she and very young person and suffering from RA from last 7 years, crying in tears. And the person said, and see a new possibility in their life, that I can, rather than running behind, I can still exist with RA and still thrive in my life. That's a possibility I could see in her eyes and sparkling, right? So that really excited me. And that idea, I said, yeah, wow, this is a great thing, right? Rather than me focusing on them, like, I help them see, right? I enable them see that. And it happens naturally. I did not plan for it, but this is where this dilemma came from, actually. But I know there is no
Yeah,
right or wrong answer, neither this nor this. You just be there in the conversation and then things will evolve, is the ultimate solution.
yeah. Thanks for that clarification because I could so much relate to it, Kapil. Because with what I'm understanding is that one is they come with a problem, but while you're coaching them, you also see the possibilities, correct? And so I could understand that dilemma now better because I can so much relate to it. And then I can now relate to what Saloni and Amit were saying also. So, so wonderful. Thanks a lot, Kapil, for this question. And thanks, Saloni and Amit, for sharing your bit.
Thank you. Thank you for asking, Ranjit.
Saloni, you're on mute.
Sorry, yeah. I was just saying thank you everyone and thank you Ranjit and Kapil I think the questions really help us. So keep putting your questions in the community. And just one thing I want to really share, this will help everyone here, and maybe you already know it, that problems are just symptoms. So there is no way we are problem solving, because we coaches are not allopathy. It's not allopathy. Symptom fever work दवाई दे दो. No, we are deeply, yoga and Ayurveda, and we are going to the root core. So yes, we are not problem solvers. We are, I feel, whether you call it light workers or enablers or possibility creators, no matter what you call it, but we are always, enhancing who they are, truly helping them to really feel who they are. And when from the beginning, we start to kind of put the seed in them, that helps. So I think I always tell my clients in the discovery call that this is how I work. I will be working deep. If you want just a problem fix, I am not the right coach, and I'm happy to recommend some other coaches. You can see if somebody can do this for you. So I'm very clear on this, and my clients, whoever commit to coaching with me, they also know. They have to be vulnerable. We have to go to the deeper, uncomfortable areas where the real shift will happen. And I think in the discovery call itself, the connection builds, because somewhere they connect, like, yeah, reality to ye hai, that this is a symptom. They understand that this is just a symptom. So I think as a coach, this is also you can do. You can start sharing that, and have an authority. I talked about being a leader as a coach. Have an authority in saying we are not prescribing here, by the way. Some people get confused. We are not diagnosing, we are not prescribing. Every session we're going to be present, but what we are doing is we are planting the seeds, because sometimes people even don't know it's a self love issue. People don't know it's a body image issue. People don't know it's a self worth issue. So we're just planting seeds and saying that this is my experience, that when these things happen, there is actually something else going on underneath. For example, and I might share a story. It doesn't mean that's their story, but I might share that this is something happened with me or my clients. And sometimes, because we are constantly criticizing ourselves or not loving or doing this or doing that, that might be the reason. And we will be peeling the layers of your psyche and going deeper and deeper to understand what is it for you. And I tell them that I'm not saying that this is the reason for you, but let's figure out this is what will happen in coaching. And once we know that, then we're gonna overcome those barriers. And then they're like, oh yeah, because reality may people know this. They also know कि कुछ और है. Yes, Aditi, yeah. You want to say something?
Thank you, Saloni, for sharing this. And on this note, I just wanted to recommend a book, Coach the Person, Not the Problem. And it's a very beautiful book, and it
Arcia Reynolds.
actually shows you case studies into how do you coach the person and not the problem.
Beautiful, beautiful recommendation, Aditi. I absolutely recommend for everyone. And it's a very good book. And not prescriptive, very, very deep, wonderful book. Yeah.
Saloni, on a quick note, in interest of the wider people here and community, I feel, is it possible for you to share that awareness sheet which you
Yeah. I will share. No
sent?
problem. I will share that.
Yeah,
All right.
that would be
Bye-bye,
helpful. Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
I'm doing an
Bye
intro live
bye.
as well
Thank you
next
so
week.
much.
I'll send that as well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.